field. Fittingly, it butts up against Lombardi Avenue here in the heart of Green Bay, Wisconsin. The kicker, Will Reichard, has the ball on the tee. And off we go from Lambeau. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. In motion right, Dobbs. Love now. He's got the hook up with Dobbs. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. Love from the gun. And that's off the mark, incomplete. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing. Love. He'll get this underneath to Jacobs. And he's stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. 5 yards, and that means they come up short as they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. Addison hauls it in. Room past the 35. And he takes it all the way up to the 47. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice 1st down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on 1st down. Excellent job pushing through tacklers that time to pick up 6.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
2nd down and 4. Working out of the gun is McCarthy. This one swung out here to Jones. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him. I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Call that a very strong gain of 24. That's a nice explosive play there, and this defense told us we have to have our eyes right on their RPO sets, and they did not have their eyes right.
I love that term, eyes right, meaning they have to be in the proper place and read your keys. And a smart thinking guy running an offense can see when you break down on that, and he took full advantage of it.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
2nd and 6. Here's McCarthy. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Moore. And the Vikings are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. Here we go now on 1st and goal. McCarthy off the play fake. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. J.J. McCarthy taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Vikings have taken the early lead on the road here at Lambeau. Defensively, didn't seem like anybody had eyes on the quarterback, and he took advantage.
So you think that maybe we're seeing some pretty good instincts for a young guy? Because that's the thing you worry about coming out of college. You're used to getting away with just about anything you want to do. You're just superior. Here, he has to read it, figure it out, and know when it's time to go.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Packers offense here coming back out for their 2nd drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And it's now 14-0. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. Love looking to throw it. He has it complete to Christian Watson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Now a 2nd and 2. On play action. Love to throw. Got his man. That's Luke Musgrave. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
Here's Love. That's complete to Dobbs. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 11 yards there, just like last play.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
To the air again, Love. He'll complete this one to Watson. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll make it second down. To pass, here's Jordan Love. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
Able to find his man, Kraft. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Again, it's Love. And he's got it. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. From the 2 now, second and goal. Jacobs diving for the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play, and they actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
Extra point from McManus is good, and that'll make our score 14-7. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it'll be second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Moore, the man in motion. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double-team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
Now McCarthy. Over the middle, complete. That's Jones. And they regroup defensively after the broken tackle, getting to him just beyond the 45. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Throwing is McCarthy. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year. And part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. There go play action. Here's McCarthy. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Jordan Addison. 42 yards. And the Vikings have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You could see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And, boy, it was pretty.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Green Bay's offense ready to go again. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. To throw now, here's Love. Short throw, he's got Kraft. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Jefferson going to go in motion right. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And not much doing there. Maybe a yard up to the 23.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman, the ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
Now 2nd and 9. On play action, now McCarthy. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That throw right on the money from the quarterback from Michigan. It's a 1st down.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
And now a fake on the jet sweep and a give to Jones. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Great stop by Devontae Wyatt, breaking through the line and stopping it cold.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
And here's Jones again on 2nd down. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job not allowing any lanes to open up.
1st down. It's 3rd down. Looking to throw McCarthy. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
So on 4th down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota. And he'll send this one into the cold Lambeau night. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. Love. That's to Kraft, the tight end. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Here's Daniel Whelan now. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And the return man will shuffle through the white stuff, secure the fair catch with both hands. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. To the air with McCarthy. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
Well, they were unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
2nd down and 6 now. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. To Jefferson on the slant. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Well, they go with a slant that time, 15 yards and a 1st down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. An inside give to Jones. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain there on 1st and 5, and it leaves them with a more standard 2nd down.
Early down stuffs to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
2nd down, another shot for Jones. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
3rd down from the gun, McCarthy. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they will open things up a bit more. It's 24-7. So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps. And the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Another drive coming up for this Packers offense. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Second down, Jacobs once more. And bulldozing his way through. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 yards on the play as they try to eat into this 17-point deficit. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. How about Jonathan Allen there pushing upfield to make the stop behind the line?
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Once again, it's Jacobs. He'll get only a couple down to the 44.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. The offense on third down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 11. Now Love. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Javon Hargrave, the D tackle, getting the sack.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
And here's Jones again on 2nd down. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. After the penalty, it's Jones. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Third and 19. They'll go again to Jones. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And here's Ryan Wright now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And a fair catch is taken here, a step or two inside the 45-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Throwing. Love. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Javon Hargrave. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
Defenders are always happy anytime they can sack a quarterback for a loss of 10 or more yards. There's an example there. High fives all around.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. That's complete. He finds Jaden Reed. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Out of the shotgun, it's Love. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll, and now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Love now. Throwing middle, and it's complete. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. First down marker at the 5. It's 2nd and goal. Love looking to throw it. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
The kick by McManus is good, and that will close the gap down to 14. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
Four seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And the Vikings going to take over here one more time before the half. And with only 4 seconds on the clock, time likely for just one snap of the football. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Not too many breaks ahead according to the radar. More snow on the horizon as we are back underway in half number 2. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Now the Vikings offense set to go to work to begin this third quarter. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That good for 19 and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
The tackle there by the safety, Xavier McKinney.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Now, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Here's McCarthy. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Well, I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his first sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now a draw play. This is Jones. And they'll get this across midfield, but not nearly close to a first down as he stopped at the 48. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to fourth down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a first down.
This one angles out of bounds at a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 10. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that's going to bring up second down.
And there's a completion to the tight end, and look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football, and that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
No gain on the play there, so they're left with a third down and 6.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. Here's Love. He finds his man complete. It's Jacobs. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on third.
Well, they've certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. That's complete to Dobbs. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And he'll get about 2 there. About defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
To pass, here's Jordan Love. He finds his man complete. That's Reed. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
That's going to be caught downfield by Reed. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 27 yards there, a first down.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Going back to Love. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Now a give to Jacobs running right. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 46 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
Well, you have to be aware defensively that you've got 2 goals because obviously you're trying to prevent the touchdown, but you're also trying to keep them from getting a first down as well. That time they weren't up to the task, and it's 1st and goal.
Here's Jacobs. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Looking to throw. Love. Touchdown, Packers. Jaden Reed, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now out comes Minnesota. And their lead cut in half by that touchdown a moment ago. They are up 7 as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. McCarthy off the play fake. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. And out now come the Vikings. Still enjoying the lead here in the 3rd quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive. Throwing is McCarthy. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. From the 38 now, here's 2nd and 3. Up the middle, Jones. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
They only need a yard here. 3rd down and 1 after the penalty. Moore, the man in motion. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And Jones is not going to have the first down as they stop him short. They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on 1st down, but the defense does not budge on 2nd and 3rd.
His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. To throw now, here's Love. He's got the hook up with Dobbs. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. That one goes for 24 yards.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
So the ball moves from 138 to the other as they come up on 1st and 10. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And 22 more yards there and another first down.
Now that's a big-time run. Lightning in a bottle, forget it. He exploded out of the bottle for that type of a pickup.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Love. He'll complete this one to Watson. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down. This to Jacobs on the toss right. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
Love from the gun on 3rd down. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Christian Watson from 13 yards out. And the Packers are an extra point away from tying this ball game here in the final moments of the 3rd quarter. McManus's point after is good, and that will tie us at 24. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. And the Vikings now heading on to the field. We got a brand new ball game, all even after that last touchdown. So every drive now becoming a little more critical here in the 2nd half. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. All even as we get ready to start the fourth. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. A give to Jones. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
The Vikings on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 17. Now McCarthy. And this is going to be incomplete.
Just a disaster of a series here. 3rd and long, no one open anywhere. This ball just has to be thrown to the sideline.
And here's Ryan Wright now, standing just about on his own goal line. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter. So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Love from the gun. Quick slant to Watson. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Right there, he rose to the occasion late in a close game.
It's something he thought about, dreamed about, and worked on throughout his career. Because in these types of situations, he wasn't going to allow extra coverage to keep him from getting the football.
Jacobs going to try the middle. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
Pretty straightforward play there by the linebacker. He saw the run, went with straight-ahead pursuit, and dumped him behind the line of scrimmage.
A 4-receiver set here, 3rd and 5. Now Love. Oh, he had a man running free, but he overshot him, and it's incomplete.
Oh, boy, tough conditions out there. I don't know if a defender slipped or what, but he had a man wide open, and that's a bad one to miss on. They don't come a whole lot easier than that one right there.
On now is the Packers punter, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this will pin him nicely inside the 20 as it's out of bounds at about the 14-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. The slot man in motion right. On play action, McCarthy. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Lucas Van Ness getting 3 there to bring him down.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Jefferson going to go in motion right. And he'll take this one up to about the 6-yard line. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one because they were prepared the whole way for him to try to escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, and that was a nice job of improvising, but it's not normal. Usually when the screen pass is taken away, you're taught to just throw the ball at the ground at the feet of the receiver so that you don't get it intercepted and just start over. But he ended up finding another receiver.
Oh, he shifts past him. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. Throwing. Love. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
From here on, any score could be the winning one, and he is certainly aware of that. Look at the way he locked in on that marker and made a mad scramble to get to it for the first down.
Off the play fake, Love. And that'll be incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. Love now. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
They'd love to get a little closer if they need to kick the field goal on 4th down. From this spot, it's 46 yards. Love looking to throw it. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
This is where the NFL is headed year by year, partner. A league where just about everyone has someone under center who can get you with their legs as well as their arm. And we've certainly had a nice display of that from both QBs in this game, and that continued with that first down run.
Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. This is caught. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal. Back to throw. Love. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Jaden Reed with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Packers have broken this deadlock and have taken the lead here in the 4th. So what a comeback here. They looked like they might be down and out not too long ago, but they have rallied back to take a 4th quarter lead.
And I think we've got to give them nothing but credit for figuring things out on the fly, because mentally they were on the ropes ready to go, and they hung in there. They made some changes and adjustments, and that led to some big plays, and it turned this game on its ear.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. The pressure is on now. They're being shut out here in the 2nd half after a decent first half offensively. And they need their best drive of the game right here. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 47 yards for him on the ground now on that, his 20th carry of the ball game. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
This 2nd and 4. Again, it's Jones. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
That's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and that's a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll run off tackle with Jones. Brought down that time by Quay Walker.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's a 2nd and 9. An inside give to Jones. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
3rd down from the gun, McCarthy. That is caught, and they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Now Jones. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Here's McCarthy. And it's caught. That catch good for 8, but still, it's 3rd and goal now. Jones. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. Here we go. The noise deafening. 4th and goal. They'll run it with Jones. And he's not going to get in. They stop him at the 1. The run is turned away on 4th and goal from the 2. And the Packer defense stands tall down by the goal line. We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down. Now Love. He finds his man complete. It's Jacobs.
And he has a Packer first down, and that should be the one that finishes the script.
And they take a knee.
Second and 11 now.
Counter play with Jacobs.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball.
To a knee goes Love, and that should be that.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And, Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.